The night was quiet, but the city never truly slept. Neon lights flickered across tall towers, and the hum of engines echoed in the dark sky. Inside his office, Commander Hale sat alone. He was not just a soldier anymore. He was a leader of men, a protector of trade routes, and the one trusted to guard human colonies at the edge of space. His desk was full of reports, numbers, charts, and endless messages. Hale was tired, but something inside him refused to rest. He had built everything with hard work. Every credit, every ally, every soldier standing with him, he had earned it all. That was when he heard the sound. At first it was soft, almost like the wind. Then a voice came, clear, strange, and close. "Someone is robbing from you." Hale froze. His hand moved to the pistol on his belt. His eyes scanned the room. No one was there. The door was locked. The windows were sealed. Yet the voice had come again, soft and certain. He stood, every muscle tense. "Who's there?" he demanded. Out of the shadows, a figure stepped forward. Small, thin, wrapped in a cloak that shimmered like starlight. She was not human. Her skin was pale silver, her eyes wide and glowing like two tiny moons. She looked young, but her presence felt ancient. Hale raised his weapon. "Stop, don't move." The girl did not flinch. She tilted her head, her voice calm and almost sad. "If you wish to save yourself, listen to me. Someone is taking what is yours. Someone close to you." Hale's finger tightened on the trigger. "How did you get in here?" "I was always here," she said softly. "Your guards cannot see me. Your machines cannot detect me. But I came to warn you." Her words cut through the silence. Hale's heart beat faster. He had heard of strange visitors before. Alien traders, travelers, even spies. But this girl was different. She spoke as if she knew him, as if she had been watching. He forced his voice to stay steady. "What do you mean, robbing? Who?" Her glowing eyes locked onto his. "Someone in your circle. Someone you trust. They smile at you, but their hands steal from your table. They take more every day. If you do not act, you will lose everything." Hale's chest tightened. He thought of his staff, his officers, the men and women who served under him. Many of them had been with him for years. Could it be true? Could one of them betray him? "You expect me to believe the word of a stranger?" he asked coldly. The girl stepped closer. The lights of his office dimmed as if the very air bent around her. "Believe me or not, but the truth will break you soon. I have seen it." Her voice carried no anger, only certainty, and that made it worse. Hale lowered his weapon slightly, though his eyes never left her. "Why warn me? What do you gain from this?" The alien girl smiled faintly. "Because you are human, and humans matter, more than you know. But humans also destroy themselves with blind trust." Her words hit him harder than any bullet. He remembered the last war, the betrayals, the allies who had turned against Earth for profit. Could it be happening again? Could history be repeating right under his command? He shook his head, trying to clear his thoughts. "If what you say is true, then give me proof. Names, evidence." The girl's silver eyes flickered with something like pity. "That is not my task. I only bring warning. The choice is yours. Look closer at those around you, Commander. Watch carefully. You will see it soon." And then she was gone. No door opened. No window cracked. She simply vanished like smoke in the wind. Hale stood there, weapon in hand, staring at the empty space where she had been. His pulse raced. His office was silent once more, but his mind was storming with questions. Was this real? Had he just imagined her? A trick of exhaustion? Or had an alien girl truly stood before him, whispering secrets he was never meant to hear? He looked down at his desk at the reports scattered across it. For the first time, he noticed small errors in the numbers. Supplies missing, credits unaccounted for. Nothing large, nothing obvious, but enough to plant doubt in his heart. Her voice echoed in his mind. "Someone is robbing from you." He clenched his fist. Doubt was poison, but once planted, it grew fast. And now it was growing inside him. He whispered to himself, "If it's true, I'll find out who." Outside, the city lights glowed. Ships moved across the night sky. The universe felt as vast as ever, but Hale knew his world had just changed forever. The warning had been given. The seed of suspicion had been planted, and in the shadows, unseen, the alien girl watched once more. Commander Hale could not sleep that night. He lay in his bed staring at the ceiling, the alien girl's words echoing in his head. "Someone is robbing from you." Someone close. He told himself it was nonsense, a trick. Maybe she was some kind of spy, planting lies to break his trust. But deep inside, a cold thought kept rising. What if she was right? The next morning, he entered his command office earlier than usual. The corridors were quiet, and only a few officers were awake at that hour. Hale preferred it that way. He wanted to think. On his desk lay the same reports he had ignored last night. He began to study them again. At first glance, everything looked normal. Supplies checked in, credits moved, equipment signed out. But the more he read, the more he noticed. Strange patterns, a few crates missing here. Fuel logged as delivered, but the numbers did not add up. Small things, so small that no one else would question them. But when Hale lined them together, it formed a shadow. Impossible, he muttered to himself. My people wouldn't do this. Yet the shadow stayed. He remembered the faces of his staff. Lieutenant Rains, always sharp and loyal. Technician Dura, who had served him for years. Even the young recruits who admired him. Could one of them be stealing? Could one of them betray him? The thought made his stomach twist. He tapped his comms. Send me the security feeds from the supply decks. Last month. All of them. The officer on duty sounded surprised. All of them, sir? That's over 100 hours of footage. Do it, Hale ordered. His voice left no room for doubt. When the files arrived, Hale locked the door and began to watch. Hours passed. He saw workers carrying crates, ships docking and leaving, officers signing reports. Everything seemed normal. But then in one feed, he spotted something strange. A crate was moved out of storage. The paperwork said it was transferred to engineering. But when Hale checked the engineering logs, nothing matched. The crate had simply vanished. His heart pounded. One mistake could be human error. But what about the others? He searched deeper and found more mismatched entries. 3 crates of fuel, 2 boxes of medical kits, all gone. All signed off by someone in his staff. The alien girl's words returned to him like a knife. They smile at you, but their hands steal from your table. Hale slammed his fist on the desk. No, it can't be. The doubt was eating him alive now. He thought of every handshake, every loyal salute, every friendly word his people had given him. Were those smiles hiding lies? Were those salutes a mask for betrayal? He wanted to dismiss it. He wanted to say it was just numbers, just mistakes. But the pattern was too clear. Someone was bleeding him slowly, stealing little by little, hoping he would never notice. And the worst part? The alien girl knew before he did. That thought shook him to the core. How long had she been watching? How much did she know about him, about his people? Why would she come to warn him instead of exposing the thief herself? Hale rubbed his temples. He felt the weight of command pressing harder than ever. If he accused the wrong person, he would shatter trust. If he stayed silent, the thief would keep stealing. Every path was dangerous. Later that day, he walked among his staff, forcing himself to act normal. They greeted him with respect as always. Some smiled, some nodded, some hurried about their work. But Hale no longer saw familiar faces. He saw masks. Was Rains too friendly? Was Dura avoiding his gaze? Was the young recruit nervous because of guilt? Or simply because Hale was their commander? The doubt twisted everything. He felt like a stranger among his own people. That evening, Hale returned to his quarters, exhausted but restless. He poured himself a drink, staring out the window at the endless stars. For the first time in years, the stars did not comfort him. They looked cold, distant, watching. A knock came at the door. Hale's hand moved instinctively to his pistol. It was only his aide bringing another stack of reports. Just routine checks, sir, the aide said politely. Hale thanked him with a nod, but as soon as the door closed, he flipped through the papers with suspicion. Even routine checks looked dangerous now. He whispered to himself, which one of you is it? Which one of you is smiling at me while cutting my throat? The silence answered back. He set the reports aside and stared at his reflection in the dark glass. His eyes looked harder, colder than before. Trust was slipping from him, and he knew it. The alien girl had planted the seed of doubt, and now it grew like fire inside him. Commander Hale clenched his jaw. He made a promise to himself, silent but sharp. I will find out who. Even if I have to tear this place apart, I will know. The doubt had become a weapon, and soon it would drive him to act. The day began like any other, but inside Commander Hale's chest a storm raged. He had spent the night searching logs, comparing records, and staring at faces in his mind. Every officer, every worker, every aide. It was as if all of them wore masks. By morning, Hale was done with quiet suspicion. He wanted truth, and he wanted it now. When the staff gathered in the central hall for briefing, the air was heavy with routine. Officers shuffled papers, soldiers stood in neat rows, and aides whispered updates. They expected the usual: orders, strategies, news of patrols. But Hale did not come with orders. He came with fire in his eyes. He marched to the front, boots striking the floor like thunder. The hall fell silent. Hundreds of eyes turned to him. He stood tall, his voice sharp. "Someone here is stealing from me, from us, from humanity itself." A murmur spread across the room like a ripple on dark water. Officers glanced at each other in confusion. Some frowned, others looked offended. Hale's words cut through them again. "Do not lie. I have seen the records. Supplies missing. Credits gone. Crates moved without reason. Someone here thinks they can rob me and walk free." The silence thickened. He could hear the hum of the ship's engines, the faint buzz of lights overhead, and the pounding of his own heart. Lieutenant Rains, his most trusted officer, stepped forward. "Commander, with respect, are you certain? These people have served you loyally. If there are errors, perhaps errors." Hale's voice boomed. He slammed a fist against the podium. "Do you call missing fuel an error? Do you call stolen medicine an error? Do you think I'm blind?" Rains stiffened, his face pale. Around the room, whispers rose. Hale scanned them all, his eyes sharp as blades. Every face looked guilty to him now. Every silence felt like a confession. "I trusted you," he growled. "Each of you. I gave you my command, my protection, my faith. And this is how I'm repaid? Betrayal in the dark?" A young recruit in the back raised his hand nervously. "Commander, none of us would dare—" "Enough!" Hale's voice cracked like a whip. "I will not listen to excuses. From this moment, you are all dismissed, fired, stripped of duty. Get out." The words fell like a hammer. Gasps filled the hall. Officers looked stunned. Technicians exchanged horrified glances. Some shouted protests, others begged for understanding. "Commander, please, you can't mean all of us. We've served you for years." But Hale's face was stone. His jaw was tight, his eyes burning. "Loyalty means nothing if betrayal hides behind it. You will all leave your posts today. Guards will escort you off this station." The hall exploded with voices, anger, fear, confusion. Some soldiers dropped their weapons in shock. Others shouted in defense of their honor. But Hale did not bend. Rains stepped forward again, desperation in his tone. "Hale, listen. If you do this, you'll lose everything. We are your people. We've bled for you, fought for you. Don't throw us away because of shadows." For a moment, Hale's chest tightened. He wanted to believe Rains. He wanted to believe them all. But then the memory of the alien girl returned, her glowing eyes, her calm voice. "Someone is robbing from you. Someone close." He could not risk it. "Out," Hale said again, his voice low but final. The guards moved in, confused but obeying orders. One by one, staff and officers were marched out. Some shouted their innocence until their voices broke. Others left quietly, tears in their eyes. When the hall was finally empty, Hale stood alone in silence. The place that had once been full of energy and trust now echoed with absence. He should have felt safe, secure. No more thieves among his people. But instead he felt heavier, as if a chain wrapped tighter around his neck. He poured himself a drink in his private quarters later, staring at the amber liquid as it shook in his hand. Was this justice, or madness? He thought of Rain's words. "We've bled for you, fought for you." He thought of the young recruit's wide eyes, full of fear, not guilt. But then, he also thought of the logs, the missing supplies, the vanished crates. They were not lies. They were real. Someone had been stealing. Someone had betrayed him, and if he could not know who, then perhaps none of them deserved his trust. Hale took a long drink, his eyes narrowing. He would rebuild. He would find new staff, better staff, people he could watch more closely. Yet even as he tried to convince himself, he felt the weight of invisible eyes. The alien girl's eyes, watching him, measuring him. She had warned him. He had acted. But deep down a chilling question burned. Had she saved him? Or had she pushed him into destroying himself? The station felt different the next morning. Where there had once been the hum of voices, the shuffle of boots, and the constant rhythm of work, there was now silence. Commander Hale walked through the empty corridors, his footsteps echoing against the steel walls. The lights still burned, the engine still hummed, but the life was gone. His staff, hundreds of men and women, were gone. He had ordered them out, and they had left. Some in anger, some in tears, some in quiet disbelief. Now the great command station that had once run like a living heart stood cold and hollow. Hale told himself it was necessary. Better alone than surrounded by traitors. Better silence than smiles that hid knives. Yet every corner of the station whispered to him. Every empty chair, every abandoned desk seemed to accuse him. You trusted us, and threw us away. Hale shook off the thought. He went to his office and sat behind the wide desk. Reports blinked on his screens. Warnings, delays, system errors. Without staff, the work piled up like a flood. He tried to handle it himself. He checked inventory logs, authorized docking codes, scanned supply records. But the tasks were endless. He signed one order and 3 more appeared. He cleared one list and another grew longer. Hours passed. His eyes burned. His hands trembled. For every mistake he caught, he feared there were 5 more slipping past unseen. And still the missing supplies haunted him. He whispered to himself, I was right. I had to be. Someone was stealing. I cut the rod out, but the silence did not agree. That evening, Hale stood in the main hangar. The vast space was empty now. Ships sat idle, untouched. Tools were left where workers had dropped them. A cup of coffee still rested on a workbench, cold and forgotten. It was as if life had been ripped away in a single moment, leaving only ghosts behind. Hale walked slowly, his boots ringing on the metal floor. He remembered laughter here once. He remembered engineers shouting orders, pilots boasting of their speed. Now there was nothing but still air. He felt a strange weight pressing on him. Not guilt, at least he told himself it wasn't guilt. No, it was something else, a shadow creeping closer. The alien girl's voice returned in his mind. Someone is robbing from you. Had she wanted this? Had she wanted him alone, stripped of all help, drowning in silence? That night, Hale sat in his quarters staring out at the stars. He poured himself another drink, his reflection shimmering in the glass. He saw not the proud commander of yesterday, but a man with hollow eyes. He asked the stars, Did I do the right thing? The stars gave no answer. A sharp sound broke the silence. A faint clink of metal. Hale's hand shot to his pistol. He stood scanning the room. Nothing moved. The sound was gone. He searched every corner of his quarters, every shadow, every vent. Nothing. And yet, he felt it, the presence, watching, waiting. He spoke into the emptiness. If you're here, show yourself. No one answered, but deep down Hale knew she was near. The alien girl. Silent, unseen, just as she had promised. The next day, things grew worse. Systems began to fail. Communications delayed. Ship engines stalled. Without staff to maintain the station, cracks appeared everywhere. Hale worked day and night, but he could not cover every fault. Messages poured in from nearby colonies. Where are our supplies? Why haven't your ships arrived? Hale deleted some, ignored others. He had no answers. When he walked the halls, he thought he heard voices, faint, fading like echoes of the past. He would turn sharply, expecting to see someone, but the corridors were empty. At times, he swore he saw movement in the corner of his eye. A shadow slipping around a corner, a flicker of silver skin. But when he looked, there was only air. The alien girl was watching him. He was sure of it now, but was she protecting him or enjoying his collapse? One evening, as he struggled with broken systems, an alert flashed on his screen. Unauthorized access. Storage Deck 9. Hale's blood ran cold. He grabbed his pistol and sprinted down the corridors. His boots hammered against the metal floors, his breath sharp and heavy. The closer he got, the louder the alarms blared. When he reached the deck, the door was wide open. Crates lay scattered, boxes overturned. Supplies gone, again, but no staff remained. No humans to blame, and in the far corner, for only a heartbeat, he thought he saw her. The alien girl. Pale silver skin glowing faintly in the dark, her eyes like twin moons. Watching, then she was gone. Hale lowered his pistol slowly, his chest heaving. His thoughts spun like fire. If his staff was gone, who was stealing now? Who had always been stealing? The silence of the station wrapped around him like a noose. The fallout had begun. His empire was cracking, and he was alone to face it. And somewhere in the shadows, the girl smiled. The station was breaking piece by piece. Commander Hale could see it in every system report. every flickering light, every delay in response. His people were gone, but the theft had not stopped. Crates were still missing. Fuel still vanished. And now, the alarms rang without mercy. It was impossible. Hale sat in the dim light of his office, staring at the glowing screen before him. The records were clear. More supplies had disappeared the night before. No staff, no humans, just emptiness. His hand trembled as he whispered, "Then who?" The memory of the alien girl burned in his mind. She had warned him, yes, but she had never said the thief was his staff. He had assumed. He had destroyed his crew with his own hands. And now, he wondered if that had been her plan all along. Driven by rage and desperation, Hale decided to search deeper. If the thief was not human, then perhaps the proof was in the station's hidden systems, the ones no ordinary officer touched. He dug into the ship's black box records. Layers of data, buried beneath firewalls, revealed traces of activity he had never seen before. Small ships had entered docking lanes at night, not recorded in official logs but marked faintly in the energy trails. Ghost ships. Hale leaned closer, his heart hammering. Invisible to my sensors, but not to the core logs. They had been docking for weeks, slipping in, draining supplies and leaving. His staff had signed off the records, yes, but only because the system had shown complete. They had not known. They had not stolen. The realization cut him like a blade. He had been wrong. His staff had been loyal. He had thrown them away for nothing. Hale's fists clenched. He remembered their faces, Rains, the recruit, the workers who had served faithfully, innocent, loyal, and he had cast them out into space, broken their trust forever. And the alien girl, she had known. The thought made his blood boil. Why had she not spoken the whole truth? Why only whisper half of it? Why leave him to destroy everything? A voice stirred behind him, soft as silk. "You see it now." Hale spun around, pistol raised. She stood there, pale silver skin glowing faintly, eyes calm and endless. The alien girl. His voice was raw with anger. "You knew. You knew it wasn't them. You let me fire them all." Her face did not change. "You would not have believed me if I told you everything. You needed to see it yourself." "See it?" Hale roared. "I ruined everything. My station is falling apart. My people are gone. My name will be cursed." The girl stepped closer, her voice still calm. "No, Commander. You cut away the noise. You stand alone now. And because of that, you finally see the real enemy." Hale's hand shook on the pistol. Part of him wanted to pull the trigger, to end her lies, her riddles, her calm, that mocked his pain. But another part, deep and desperate, wanted answers. "What are those ships?" he demanded. "Who's stealing from me?" She tilted her head. Her eyes glowed like twin moons in the dark. "Not who. What? They are feeders, parasites. They slip between human systems, draining little by little. Never enough to raise alarms, always enough to weaken. They thrive on your blindness." Hale's chest tightened. Feeders. The word itself felt wrong, like a disease. "And you knew all along," he spat. "Yes. Then why not warn me?" His voice cracked with fury. "I did warn you," she said simply. "But humans must break their illusions before they can see truth. If I had given you every answer, you would not believe. You would cling to trust, to comfort. Now you cannot." Hale lowered his pistol slowly. Her words struck deep. She was right. He would not have believed her. He had trusted his people too much. Only when he had destroyed that trust did his eyes finally open. But the cost. Oh, the cost was too great. He turned back to the screen, staring at the ghostly trails of the feeders. "If they're parasites, then how do I fight them?" For the first time, the alien girl's expression shifted. A faint smile touched her lips. Not cruel, not mocking, but knowing. "That is why I came," she said. "Because humans are not weak. Because you, Commander, can fight what others cannot even see. But first you had to be alone. You had to stand with no one else to lean on. Only then could you face them." Hale's heart pounded. Rage, guilt, fear, all of it boiled inside him. But beneath it, a spark ignited. A purpose. The feeders were the real thieves. They had played him, hidden in the shadows, bleeding him dry. And now he saw them. Now he could strike back. He set the pistol on the table and leaned forward, his voice hard as steel. Then show me how. The alien girl's silver eyes glowed brighter. You are ready. Commander Hale had thought the revelation would bring him peace. Now he knew the truth. His staff had not betrayed him. The real thieves were alien parasites, the feeders. They had crept into his station like shadows, draining his supplies drop by drop. He expected clarity. He expected relief. Instead, he felt something else, a deeper, sharper suspicion. The alien girl stood before him, silver eyes glowing, her voice calm as ever. You are ready, she had said, ready to fight, ready to see. But Hale's mind no longer trusted calm voices. He had fired his crew because of her. He had turned his home into an empty shell. And she had known. She had watched. She had let him destroy everything before giving him the truth. Why? As she spoke, explaining the feeder's methods, Hale listened, but his thoughts twisted around her words. She told him how they slipped unseen through sensor lines, how they erased their presence from logs, how they fed on human systems like silent leeches. But Hale kept thinking, how does she know so much? He leaned against the desk, his voice low. You've studied them. You know their every move. The alien girl nodded slowly. Yes, my people have fought them for centuries. Then why warn me? His tone hardened. Why me, of all people? Why not stop them yourself? Her eyes flickered. It was the first crack in her calm mask. Because this is not our war, Commander. It is yours. We guide. We watch. But only humans can fight for humans. The answer felt too clean. Too simple. Hale stepped closer, his gaze sharp. And yet you let me destroy my staff. You let me think they were traitors. She did not move. You would not have believed the truth. I needed you to see with your own eyes. Hale's jaw clenched. Or maybe you needed me alone. Maybe you wanted me broken, stripped of allies, easy to shape. For the first time, the girl's eyes widened. Hale saw it. The flicker, the hesitation. Isn't that right? He pressed. You didn't just warn me. You guided me. You used me. The silence between them grew heavy. The station hummed, broken systems groaning in the distance, alarms blinking faintly. Finally, she spoke. You see sharper than most humans. That is why I chose you. The words were simple, but they hit Hale like a knife. She had chosen him. Not to save him, not to save his staff, but for something else. Hale's hand drifted toward his pistol. His voice was cold. Tell me the truth. Are you helping me or controlling me? The alien girl's silver glow dimmed slightly. Her calm was gone now. She looked not like a savior, but like something more dangerous. My people, she said quietly, cannot fight the feeders directly. We are bound by laws older than your species. But we can guide. We can shape. We give warnings. We push leaders toward choices they would never make on their own. Only then can humans stand where we cannot. Shape? Hale spat the word. You destroyed everything I had. You were blind with loyalty. She answered firmly. You could not see the parasites while surrounded by false trust. Alone you can see clearly. Alone you can fight. Hale's chest tightened. She spoke with conviction, but to him, it sounded like chains. She had not saved him. She had cornered him. He remembered Raines's face, the recruit's voice, the empty hall. All gone because he had followed her whisper. Now he saw her differently. Not as a warning. Not as a savior. But as a manipulator. You're no different from the feeders, Hale growled. They drain supplies. You drain trust. Her silver eyes flared, brighter than before. For the first time, her calm voice carried sharpness. Careful, Commander. Without me, you would still be blind. Without me, you would already be dead." The words cut, but Hale did not flinch. His hand rested on his pistol, steady now. "Maybe," he said. "Or maybe I'd still have my people." The silence burned. Two figures in the broken station, one human, one alien, both locked in suspicion. Finally, the alien girl spoke again, softer now. "Whether you believe me or not, the feeders are coming. They are stronger than you think. You can waste your time fighting me, or you can prepare to face them." Hale's eyes narrowed. He did not lower his weapon. "Then prove it. Show me one of these feeders. Show me with my own eyes, or I'll know you've been lying all along." The girl held his gaze for a long moment. Then, slowly, she nodded. "You want to see? Then you shall." And for the first time, Hale wondered if the truth he demanded might be worse than the lies he already lived with. The hangar was silent as Commander Hale followed the alien girl. Her steps made no sound, her silver cloak glowing faintly in the dim light. The station around them groaned like an old beast, systems failing without the workers who once kept it alive. Hale gripped his pistol tight. Every instinct told him this could be a trap, yet his hunger for truth pulled him forward. "You wanted proof," the girl said softly, not turning her head. "Tonight you will have it." They reached the docking bay. The vast doors opened to the cold darkness of space. Hale's eyes scanned the void, stars stretched forever, silent and eternal. At first he saw nothing. Then the shadows moved. Shapes slipped between the stars, darker than night. Small at first, then larger as they drew closer. They were ships, but not like any Hale had ever seen. Their hulls bent the light around them, their forms shifting like smoke and bone. The feeders. Hale's breath caught. His sensors had never shown them. But here they were, approaching with silent hunger. The girl's silver eyes glowed brighter. "Do you believe me now?" Hale could not answer. He watched as one of the shadow ships latched onto the station's outer hull. No alarms blared. No sensors triggered, but Hale saw it with his own eyes. The feeder was drinking, drawing energy and supplies directly from the veins of the station. He raised his pistol instinctively, though it was useless against such a thing. Rage boiled inside him. "They've been here all along." "Yes," the girl whispered. "Always feeding, always hiding. Your people never saw them. They blamed each other, and so the feeders thrived." Hale's stomach twisted. That was the cruelest truth of all. His staff had been innocent, yet he had cast them out. The enemy had never worn human faces. His voice was low, bitter. "You let me destroy my crew. You let me stand alone. Was that your plan from the beginning?" The alien girl finally turned to him. For the first time, her calm face showed something else, a sadness or maybe pity. "If I had told you everything, you would have fought shadows with blind eyes. You had to be broken before you could see." Hale shook his head. "No, you didn't save me. You used me." The girl stepped closer, her gaze steady. "And yet, now you see. And now you are ready to fight them." Her words echoed in the vast hangar. Hale felt the weight of them pressing on his chest. Was she right? Or was this another manipulation? The feeders clawed deeper into the station, their black forms pulsing as they drained life away. Hale's screens lit up with warnings. Power surges, pressure drops, oxygen loss. He knew what had to be done. He turned to the girl, his jaw hard. "If I am to fight them, then I need more than warnings. I need a weapon." Her silver glow pulsed. For the first time she smiled, not with triumph, but with something colder. "I am the weapon." And then she changed. Her body shimmered, the cloak dissolving into light. Her form grew taller, sharper, her silver skin breaking apart like pieces of armor. What stood before Hale was not a fragile girl, but something powerful, something ancient. Her eyes burned brighter than suns. Hale staggered back, pistol raised. "What are you?" Her voice was no longer soft. It was vast, echoing with power. "I am the shield that watches, the sword that never rests. My people made me to guide you, but I cannot strike unless a human chooses. That human is you." The feeders outside clawed harder at the station. Sparks flew. Systems failed. The station shook as though it would tear apart. Hale's hand trembled. He had wanted truth, and now he had it. Truth that terrified him. He lowered his weapon slowly. His voice was steady. "Then fight with me." The alien, no longer a girl but something more, raised her arms. Silver light surged from her body. bursting through the hangar like a storm. The feeders shrieked, their black forms twisting in pain. The station trembled as beams of light struck the invaders, ripping them apart piece by piece. Hale shielded his eyes, watching shadows dissolve into nothingness. The feeders were dying. Minutes later, silence returned. The dark ships were gone, scattered dust in the endless stars. Hale stood there, chest heaving, staring at the glowing being before him. The battle was won, but the cost was carved deep into his heart. The alien being's light dimmed. Slowly, she took her smaller form again. The fragile, silver-skinned girl. Her voice was quiet now. "You see the truth, Commander. Humanity is prey no longer." Hale holstered his pistol, though his hand shook. "You used me. You broke me. You left me with nothing." Her eyes glowed faintly. "I gave you everything you need. The rest is your choice." And before he could answer, she vanished, leaving only silence and starlight. Commander Hale stood alone in the hangar, the station still broken, his crew still gone, his trust forever shattered. Yet in his chest a fire burned. He had seen the enemy with his own eyes. He had fought them and lived. The feeders were real. The war had only begun, and Hale, broken and betrayed, was now its soldier.